All right, let's get to the lightning talks. I met Wagner, I think 2 years ago now, at these dinners we used to have at a townhouse a few blocks away that Raphael's family owns, and immediately was blown away by the empathy, the insight, the charisma of this man. For our first lightning talk, I'd like to welcome Wagner to the stage. Wagner, take it away.
Well, on the first time that I came to this stage, he was really pissed at me because I was speaking for 10 minutes. Okay, let's make seven minutes. I spent the whole day today with 50 CHROs of big companies right here in New York. And one of them came to me and said, Wagner, we don't know where to start with Gen AI because we are trying to transform a function that only knows how to focus on process, programs, and policies. We need to move away from there. And most people are terrified of what the future looks like, especially now when we are talking about efficiencies. So I want to tell you about something that I wrote in my book. I just wrote this book, and it's about leading to succeed, right? Why? Because you cannot succeed in the future without accepting yourself as a leader. And to accept yourself as a leader is a journey. Everyone in the new workplace is a leader, and you have to treat them that way because teams, and you're going to talk about teams with AJ, they're the new unit of value in organizations. There is no more the leader, the hero leader that comes in to save the world. There is no the head of AI technology that's going to save the organization. So we have to start thinking that leadership now is a shared experience because distributed teams needs distributed power. And that's how we are going to function from now on so we can ignite what's left after AI took care of all the tasks that we deem unnecessary for humans. And humans are having a hard time. Because 60% of AI, 60% of the time is going to be taken away. What do you do with that time that you created for yourself? Companies are thinking about efficiencies. So some companies are capitalizing in the quarter. So they layoffs, we saved money, EPS, higher EPS for everybody. But the best companies are reinvesting the money on their people. They are educating them, enabling them to think differently about what is possible once AI comes to take the tasks that we no longer need to do ourselves. Frontline leaders in the customer service, we are going to save about 40% of the cost because training is down. It's much easier to train the advocates in front of the client with the enablement that we can do with AI. But guess what? I create this, and this is funny because when you prompt AI to give you an image, they assume AI is a man. It's interesting, isn't it? And we are going to talk about diversity. We cannot, what I'm trying to say here, try not to compartmentalize the workforce, the work in the workplace. They are one and the same, and complexity is growing, but efficiency is enhancing itself. And we are going to be much more capable if we are able to hold this complexity in a way that's more productive for everyone. What I'm trying to say is a research just came out. People are choosing to do tasks that they no longer need to do because humans need control, a sense of agency, and they need to feel safe. So they know what to do, these tasks. They will continue to do these tasks until they feel safe enough to try to experiment with something they never did. So human beings, psychologically speaking, they're not adopting AI. That's why the article was spot on. They're not adopting AI because they want a sense of contribution. How do you feel that you contribute to a company? By completing tasks that you know how to complete. And that's where we are. If everyone is a leader, you need to deal with self-limiting beliefs. They're preventing you from trying new things. You have to start thinking about the imposter syndrome because there is no elite that knows everything about AI and those who don't. we do have a divisive environment right now, but the best companies are enabling people to understand what the technology is, understand what the technology can do for you, and encouraging you to think differently about your own value creation. We are talking about value. So right now, the studies are saying that people are very afraid of losing a sense of contribution and value. If they think differently, we are going to be ahead exponentially. But not to go into 10 minutes here, I want to talk to you about something that's very essential. In my book, I talk about what's essential is for leaders to start thinking that awareness is not enough. We are very aware of how we want to behave, how we should behave. Our leaders even go to leadership like at Harvard, INSEAD, whatever you want to send them. But they come back the same people that they went in because they don't have the opportunity to experiment different behaviors. So awareness is just the first step. Self-acceptance, accepting your flaws, accepting things that you don't know yet, accepting that confidence is not about knowing. Self-confidence comes from your strong belief that you can learn what you don't know, that you can lead teams that know better than you, that ideas are not in HQ, but they are across the organization. Imagine if leaders have the capacity to feel secure enough to allow for power to be distributed and leadership being shared among everyone in the company. So don't forget, awareness is just one step. To get to real change, we need to go through the journey of self-acceptance, and that's hard to do. Now, I just came back from the HR. Somebody said yesterday to me, Wagner, we are not there yet because right now we are buying painkillers, not vitamins. And that makes sense, right? We are in AI, we are in efficiencies, we are trying to secure the cost reduction, operational cost reduction. We are trying to secure of the promise that we made to our shareholders, stakeholders, and everyone else. But that's very short-sighted. Because in HR, for example, I'm telling HR, the workforce today is an ecosystem of talent pools that are not limited to your full-time employees. Think about the range of change here. Your ecosystem of talent is a huge composition of talent pools, fractional workers, independent workers, shared services still there and all that. And in HR now, if you want to start with your systems of record. Start allowing your systems of record to incorporate all the independence, the fractional work, because it's about projects. Performance management no longer is an individual responsibility for the manager because we have project-based assessments. In project-based assessments, you are continuously evaluating the skills and the performance of individuals. So you see, we are changing from annual cycles, we are changing from process management to a fluid process of experiences. Then you go into systems of insights. You need your own hypothesis. People are missing the hypothesis. People talk about analytics as if it's something that emerges and tells you the future. No, you need to have a hypothesis and understand the data that you need. So organizations out there are not prepared for this. I asked the 50 CHROs, do you really know how many employees do you have globally? They start laughing because nobody does. Our systems are not structured to capture all these talent pools. And then systems of engagement. Tell the individual, you own your career. Yes, now give me the platform so I can actively own it. So talent marketplaces might be a little overrated, but I truly believe you have to give them the access to their own skills, to the opportunities in the organization, the projects, gig economy inside an organization. You have to give people the platform so they can actively have a sense of agency. So now they know what they need to build. Now they know the skills that they're going to need. And to complete what you said about the strategy and execution, You can go from strategy to execution without thinking about organizational capabilities. So think about that. An organizational capability gives you exponential advantage, but only if you are able to understand the technology and platforms you're going to need, understand the organizational design you're going to need to make that come to fruition, and work design. Nobody's doing work design. We need to start upskilling everyone on work design. And then we go to skills. But it's not skills as a unit, it's clusters of skills, talent pools, capabilities, experiences that come together to make that capability come to fruition. That's the future. So I want to leave you with that because I think we have great stuff to think about, but let's think about that everyone is a leader. And if you are a leader, your colleague is a leader, our teams are going to be empowered to become exponentially more stronger. So I leave you with that because we're going to talk about teams now. Thank you.
Thank you, Wagner. Who are these HR leaders buying so many painkillers? Because maybe that's why they have no idea how many people work for them.